So hello everyone, we're here in the second consulting session with Diego from Australia. And yeah, we're here. We I think in the first session we did a bit of a deep dive on this first homepage. It started off with just a desktop viewport, but now as you can see, it is responsive. You can see the tablet and the phone version. It's looking very nice. I see that you did your homework, Diego, very well.
Just a
And
little bit.
yeah, it's looking great. We have the video here. We have this testimonial section. I don't remember seeing this video component.
No, I
No?
added it
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, you added it. Very nice. Okay, so and we have these things here, exposiciones. So these are different. I think we had these last time, and here we have the two tickers. Amazing! Wow, you did great progress. Wow. Okay.
One thing, I'm not sure if you're sharing the screen
Oh,
because I can't see it on my end.
okay.
So
I'm not
I don't know
sharing
if
it to you.
everyone else. If you want, you can start all over. That's fine.
No, no, I'm sharing it to you. Like my stream can view it, but
Oh,
now I'm sharing
gotcha.
it to you. Perfect. Sorry for that,
Okay,
Diego.
perfect.
So yeah, there's this looks great. With these different artworks, it looks like very consistent, like a very consistent gallery. You have the flag here. It's really nice. So these flags are basically uh, categories based on the nationality of that person, I guess.
Yeah, so pretty much the flags are the essence of the project. So they aim to take a portrait of the athletes in their best time,
Okay.
and they do that with something that's called, or in Spanish, the word is aerografía. I don't know the translation in English.
Okay.
But the main goal is to promote these flags in some ways, and the athletes might be from different part of the world. So it's the main point here in the homepage is to sort of give you a bit of the teaser of what the guys are doing in terms of the art.
Okay, got it. It's nonetheless, it's looking very nice. Like you're doing a fantastic job. You're learning really quick, which it's pretty rare because most people they take their time to understand these concepts. But I see that you're really learning quickly. There's some type of gap
I
here.
missed one. Yeah, it
Okay,
seems like
okay,
I missed one in there.
okay.
So I did experience some challenges when I was working with homepage. I did some improvements.
Okay.
But mainly, for example, I've got some notes here. I couldn't edit the navigation drop down. I don't know if it's because you have like access to the premium version of Compa.
Okay.
But I couldn't really edit it on my site.
Okay.
The testimonials, they have a bit of a drop down shadow as well. So actually it's the testimonials and the services, they've got a bit of a shadow. So I wasn't fully able to fix them. I know you can see on the edges, it looks like a bit squared instead of just fitting within each card, let's say. Then the footer adjustment. So the project has pretty much two versions of the logo. The simple one, which is the one we're using in the header, and then on the bottom, this is like the full logo. So then when I was trying to arrange things and also viewing it in the different views like mobile and tablet, I was like, oh no, I don't know what I'm doing here.
Okay.
So I just decided to leave it there. It's not even designed, but it's sort of like I just put the elements I wanted to include. And then lastly, I think when I was in the website version or the website view or desktop view in this case, some elements might still look like too big. So there might be a better way to display them. I think the services look quite big when you have like the full version. Yeah, so I think I wasn't able to arrange them like a row of 4, let's say, instead of having these 2 and 2. So those were some of the challenges I experienced
Okay.
in the home page.
Okay, cool. All of those points are valid. They're all solvable, and yeah, these are just things that you'll learn along the way. I'm curious to know for the first point you said about the nav bar.
Correct.
What exactly, like, did you try to how was your process? Did you like double click this, or what did you do? Like,
yeah. So on the other view, we have on the top exposiciones, auspicios, libros, and I tried to put them by clicking same thing you did before, clicking into the features, and then I wanted to replace the titles, but I think I just couldn't get anywhere.
Okay. So that's a good point. Let's see this. So this is another component. It's called the drop-down component, right?
Okay.
So what we need to do is, which ones do we want to put? We want to put these 4 in here, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what we can do is we can just copy these. I selected them. I put Command C on my Mac, and I go in here, and I'm going to paste them here. So this is like the area of the drop down, right? So you go here, this is the nav, and here is if you click on this, here's the drop down. And then what you want to do is, let's scroll down here and let's click on one of these. And here let's just replace feature 1 with exposiciones. Let me just copy paste this. So as you can see, it starts to fill out, and
I can't believe it was that easy.
Yeah, these points that you have are just things that are easy, but like since you're beginning, you don't really see them, right? This is just like due to repetition, all of these different tricks. But so this is how you do it. You see auspicios, and then you can go here to feature 2 and replace it. Boom. Libros.
Yeah, sometimes I forget that I have to work on the toolbar that's on the side.
Especially for components. That's the, like, 99% it's components that you need to work on the side, like buttons or drop downs like this. And you also have this description feature, so you can either delete it and go like this, like make it empty.
I think that's better, yes.
So that's one way, and you can eventually add a description if you want, or if you want to like completely never ever use descriptions, you double click on this and you delete it here. You understand? This is like the template.
Oh, yes.
This is the template of the nav bar, right? So here we have this variable that creates a text, so that over here in this drop down you can create the different selections.
I understand.
Okay, so right now, if we go in here, we have the ability to show an icon. We have the ability to show a title, right? These two. We have the ability to show a badge. So if something is completely new, like there's a new page, you can put that badge. You can even edit the badge to be like another color if you want, right? You can add another icon to that page, or you can put a description. So all of these different things are possible with this. So
understand.
Yeah, and if you want to not show the icon, you just click on no, right? And you click on no. Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, you can even talk down the description, right? Put no. So no description, no icon, and so on and so forth. No icon, no description, no icon, no description, no icon. And then if I were to put yes on badge, you can see yes, new, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's it. So I actually don't know why this is different. Let's just make this like this. Perfect. So that's how it looks like. So now if we were to go to the drop down, if we go back home and we go to the drop down features, you can see them.
Excellent. Like yes, perfect. So we tackled the first point already.
Yeah. Oh, and one thing in the first point, the links, right? Each one should take you to a specific page. So for example, exposiciones. Do we have a page for that already? I don't know.
No, we don't.
But basically,
Not
whenever you
yet.
do, whenever you have a page, you go on this specific, layer, and you add the link, right? You select the page that you want to link it to. So let's say that here it says Mission, you put Mission, boom, and it takes you to Mission page. It's as easy as
Gotcha.
that. Yeah. So that's for the nav bar.
Perfect.
Yeah. It's looking good though. Awesome. Okay. So the next point that you said was, if I remember,
The shadows.
from the shadows, right? From the testimonials and from these services.
Correct.
So the shadows, the problem with the shadows you're saying is that they're cutting off, right? Is that what the problem
Like
is?
at least on the section of services,
Yeah.
it looks like a square shadow.
Yeah.
I think this one.
You can also see it here. If you really, this you mean, right?
Yes, exactly. Instead of following the shape of the card,
Yeah.
they are more like square.
Yeah, got it. So there's a simple like trick behind this, and it's making the overflow. Let me see where it is. Not override. Let me delete this. Okay, this is a. 1 second. Let me see something. Overflow set to visible. Let me see here. 1 second. Let me see if this is working. Overflow set to visible. Overflow set to visible. Okay, so now for this one, oh no, still no. Overflow set to visible. I'm just trying to, poke things around to see what works, what doesn't work. Okay, that's strange. Because usually I would put like overflow set to visible, and then these things would basically, like, the shadows would overflow. Like you can see, because right now, basically what I'm trying to explain technically is that this shadow is not overflowing. It's like stopping, right? Something is not letting you see the overflow. So I'm trying to make sure that whatever that is, it's set to visible. So overflow visible. You can still see that here. I believe it's the grid. Let me just see the padding. It has some type of... Oh, okay. I think I know what it is. So we have this padding, this shadow here, and it's inside. So it's not outside. So this grid, for example, has a shadow that is going inside. So let me delete this to show you what. So now it's gone. It doesn't really have a shadow.
I see.
So the container that was holding the cards had a shadow going inside and not outside. So it kind of looks like it's like a hole in the page,
Because it was the container, the one that has the shadow,
Yeah.
as opposed to the card that had the shadows.
Exactly. So the cards also has the shadows. You can see that it has the shadows, right? I don't know if you can.
Yes, I see now. Yes.
Yeah, it has the shadows, but the container had this inside shadow, which wasn't looking so good. And this one over here, this is a tricky one because this is a component, and I can't really edit the component. What I can try to do is make these overflow visible and see if this works. No. Then we gotta see what else we do. This is set to height fixed with fill good. Let me try to remove some of the padding on the left and right. Okay, no, this is not going to work. So whenever you click on this right arrow, you want to see more testimonials, right? That's the idea.
That's correct.
Okay. So this is the only problem that we have here on the left side and on the right side as well, whenever it ends. So see this fading, enable yes. Let's go back. So right now I don't know the solution, but I'm just like poking around to see what it is, right? That's basically what I'm trying to see here. So progress, no. Fading, no. Snapping, no. Sizing, no. Sizing, no. On the phone it looks like this too. Yeah, it has to do with this. It has to do with the padding. Maybe let's add some padding on the left. No, still looking strange. So we have this, okay, now I see the problem. So we have this main stack, and then we have this stack. Oh no, never mind, that's not the problem. Pero stack visible realistic shadow.
What happens if you remove the shadows? Well, where it says realistic shadow?
I mean, we could remove the shadow, but then we wouldn't have that nice difference. Like it would look like this.
Oh yeah, okay, I see what happens.
What you could do is like a second option would be something like making it like this. That would be like a second.
It's not a bad solution, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean that would be a variant that you could do. You know, instead of the shadow, something like this. I'm just
happy with that.
Yeah, you are? Okay. We can
I mean, it's you know, these little details, like they are not the end of the world.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially for this project. So yeah, I think sometimes if we're able to optimize like similar solution, that's fine for me.
Yeah, that's how I think too, man. Like there's these little details, and I try to solve them, but there's always like a solution to these things, right? If you can't really find it now, we can think of some other type of solution that also works, and this is one example of that, right? So
that's pretty good.
So we have testimonials, we have the services. I can see that this gap is kind of large here. Maybe you want to consider, here we have the 24 gap, here we have 24, so everything here is 24, here 24, here 24. I'm just trying to see what the gap is. 24, 20. Here's this 30. You see? I
yeah.
Notice it.
So I forgot to change that one.
No problem. No problem. So here 30, 24, and here we have like 10 pixels. Well, it's more. It's a little bit more, but let's just keep it all a little bit consistent. This seems a little bit too far, so I'm going to. I'm actually going to grab this and go something like this. This is a little bit better.
Perfect. So with the services, as I mentioned before, one of the things I reckon will look better on a big screen if we're able to place each of the cards side by side, as opposed to having a grid of 4.
So something like this, you would say?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So this would be one option. We would have to make these all fill height. So we have
Okay, I
bars.
think if you change the caption on Libros and okay, that's another option.
Yeah, that would be one way. Or
because if you remove the last section where it says de mejor calidad and you just cut it where it says papel, then you get that's it.
Yeah, perfect. So that's one way of doing it. And then for the tablet, for example, it's going to be too thin, so we would have to do two, and we would have to make this height. So let me get this height over here. It has to be set to fit content. Oops, what happened here? This has to be height fit content. Just making sure that everything looks good. Fit content. Okay. And here we can do like a grid of 2 instead of a stack. And then everything of these would be set to fit content. Huh. Something is up. Oh, okay. Is it this? So each of these images has a fixed height, which is fine. Usually happens. Hold on, Diego. I'm just trying to see how to properly do this. So I put this as a stack, basically going left to right. And now our problem is to make this, better, right? So,
a grid of 4, yes.
A grid of 4, exactly. So grid of 4 of 2 columns, 2 rows. And now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make this all fit everything here. And I don't know why it is not doing so. Let me just kind of make this manually, okay, and make this manually, okay. Strange that it's doing this. Okay, what we can do is then we can do it another solution. Make these relative 50%. And these relative 50. there's something strange going on with this particular one. I can't really put my finger around it.
I don't actually remember if this was exported from Figma to Framer. So I don't know, maybe we can use perhaps a different template or component and
yeah, what I can do is I can kind of like rebuild this really quick. I think
yeah, that's another option.
Yeah, so what we can do is we can just you have the images to these, right?
I do have the images, yes.
So I'm just gonna remove this thing. Maybe we can keep these. I mean, these work, these cards. There was something wrong with something here. Okay, so I'm gonna start with a frame. I'm gonna make this frame some color so I can see it. Put it in here. Make this fill. And then I'm gonna go ahead and move this stack. No, I'm not gonna use the stack. I'm gonna use these cards. So let's get these and let's move them out of this stack. And then I'm gonna put the cards. Wait 1 second. Let's put this as a layout, so it's a stack. And then I'm gonna put this in here. I'm gonna put this one in here, this one in here, and this one in here. And make this fit the content. So we have 4 here. We can make this grid going 2, and then here we can make it go like this. And here we can give some padding. And let's remove this. And boom, we have our little stack. This is not doing the overflow, so let's remove that. Visible. Okay, perfect. Here we need a little bit more space. Something like this looks good. And here we need more gap. Something like this. I also noticed that in this image, it's a little bit curved, and here too. Is that because is the image also like curved? No.
No, the image is not. I think it's just the radius.
Yeah. So you have to worry, make sure that it's the same as this image, or just put it. Let me see. I would say put these to 0. And this to 0 as well. And what should have the radius is the card that's containing the image.
Okay.
So not the image itself, but the card. So this is 20. I think 20 is good enough. So what we do is we get the card. Boom, boom. And then we get the radius. Oh, it already has 20. Maybe it's because of this. Yeah, okay. That's why. Okay, so now that looks... Yeah, so basically what I did was I set for the cards the overflow hidden so that the images stay, in the card and not overflowing. It's kind of complicated to kind of understand, but basically this has an overflow set to visible so that you can see the shadow, but the card, so if I were to put the card overflow visible, you can see that the image kind of ignores the card's rules in the borders, right? So it's like an open border, as you can think about it. So visible means open border, hidden means closed border. It stays in the border of the main stack, right? Of this main stack. So now it looks like this. Okay, so this is for the services. Yeah, so this is looking good, I would say. And would say let's go ahead and go to the next one. What would be the next topic again? Something with the footer?
Correct. Good memory.
Okay.
So on the footer, we have this mix of different items that
true.
haven't really been optimized.
So first of all, the logo looks really cool. I really like the logo. It looks like a fancy certificate.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, because of the project is about giving the athletes the recognition, it's sort of like the medal of Leyendas.
Okay, like a recognition. Got it. Okay, so the first thing that I've noticed is that it might be a little bit too big.
Okay.
So
yes,
something a little bit smaller like this would be nicer. And I'm just thinking about this because I see some types of websites that have, there's mostly European websites. They have like a European symbol in the bottom, right? Because there's a bunch of regulations there that they need to be compliant for some specific thing. And these regulations, they usually have like some type of certificate, and those certificates are not so big. They're quite small, like this, and this kind of reminds me of that.
Perfect.
This thing of no te pierdas, I basically deleted the space. There was a space here, so it's kind of indented. I don't know if you realize that. And then we have, so it's actions, okay. So basically this, let me see what this, okay, it's the form and the text. Okay. So the form, you can see that it's kind of, there's something weird going on here, right? So this isn't really fitting the content somehow. Newsletter, okay. So we want this section to look good, first of all, and we want it to be responsive for the other sides, right? That's the goal that we're trying to do now.
Correct.
Okay, for this one, I would first of all put these two into its own stack.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put this like logo, and I think it looks nicer if you want to keep it in the side in the side of the logo like this to make it centered like this, right? And you can see that the gap kind of reduced a lot. So before it was like this, right? It was equal gap between here and here, and you kind of like the mind would think that this text doesn't really belong to this or this. It's kind of like alone. So if this
so the text actually belongs to the mail section
the mail section. Okay.
So don't miss the exposition. The next exposition is sort of like put your email here so you don't miss the next one.
Okay, yeah, true. Okay. So then what we can do is we can bring this over here and put this together with this one. So this width can be set to fit the content of this logo, and then we can make it like this, or we can make this so the logo goes on the top, and then this goes on the bottom. So that can be one way of doing it. I think
that looks good.
I mean, both look good in my honest opinion. This might
that also looks good.
This might look better because it's like less space. You understand? Like there's, it's not so tall. This one was pretty tall, but this one isn't. So that might look actually better in my opinion. So we have these two things. Now this one here, actions, the form. So we have the text. We have this. Let me see if I set this to fill, and I make this fill, for example. Now we have a little bit more space to put your email, and we can make this 12 as well. I think that's better. And okay, so this body that we're using, okay, never mind. And then this one, let's make it set to fill, not fixed. So now I can see that this whole thing is quite organized. Everything is filled into its main box, which has the dotted lines. So it looks a little bit more organized, right? we can adjust the gap around here if we want. Let me see. No, that's okay. And all right, so now let's see here. So for the tablet version, what we can start doing is just going like this, and let's make sure that everything is set to like a fill width. So this can be set, see how it's fixed 47, it's really small. So now if we put fill width, it's gonna look like this.
I see.
And let me see how this would look like. We can put this downwards. So it's all about like putting things, you know, reversing the structure, right? If you see something like this, it looks very scary, but the only problem that you have here is just in terms of, again, the direction and the fill, right? The widths and heights. So
Okay.
so like this, for example, would be it's a very thin thing, so it might have a fixed width. Like if we go like this, you can see it's already getting better, and it's still thin. So let's get this and make it like this, you know. So now it's starting to look a bit nicer, and we can make these things. For example, well, I'm gonna do that in the desktop, but we can make. Let me see what's the thing here. Fill, fit, fill. So we have these columns. Is this something that was brought from Figma?
Yeah, I think it was part from Figma because they had like different different words into each of those boxes.
Okay.
So
what I'm gonna do is something different. I'm going to get this, and I'm gonna make this 0 and 0, and I'm gonna put this on the right side. So, well, how did we have it before? Let me see. It was like this. Okay. Are you gonna add more social media stuff?
perhaps in the future, but at the moment, I know the project they only have Instagram accounts. So
Okay, because what I'm thinking is that, you know, you can add them like this, but if you only have one right now, I'm just trying to see how we would place this. Let me just first make sure that everything's over here 0. There's a few little weird things that pass over from Figma, which is strange, but they're fixable. We have this gap, good. And we have the signos. And we have this large space downwards, I see over here. And I don't know why it's like this. What is this? Footer, fixed height. Okay, fit content. And then let's put 60. So I would honestly keep this like this, because this, for example, you can, let me make this a little bit larger here. We have this link and you can duplicate it, and what you can do is you can eventually put these into its own stack going like this.
Oh, I see.
And this can be, you know, fit content, or not fit content, but, you know, you can keep on adding different things, right? You can have like 4 and it looks something like this. What do you think? Do you think that's a good take? Do you like
that? I think that's pretty good for the moment.
Okay. And I see that this is pretty large, so I'm going to actually put these into a stack so that whenever someone clicks it, the click space is going to be small and not so large, you know? So the click space is going to be like this, basically. And you can go, for example, link Instagram.com. And then the mouse was covered here. Okay. Now this part, let's maybe add some gap. We can keep it like something like this, or we can make it like this. I think like this is better for this. And then for the phone, this would be set to fill. This would be set to fill. And then we increase the whole gap over here to be about like 60. And then we can see that things are starting to break, but that's no problem. Let's just put this to fit content. And then this still needs some fixing. It's okay. It's something wrong with the, fixed width, you see? So fill width. And this has to be not fixed, but fill. And then this should be going downwards, okay. And row, fill, and then this going like this, making it fill. And then making this go like this. Fit content. Just trying to see if everything works. Okay, yeah, here it is. Fit content. There we go. And then
perfect. And yeah, maybe we can center the logo as well.
Yeah, 100%. And we can make this, since I think last time we spoke about it, like in these tablets and phones, you want to make the buttons a little bit larger. So you want to do something like this. And then you can put the logo centered. You can go like that. You can, do something like this. Although, I don't know. Yeah. It's up for you to decide. I think this also looks nice, to be honest. Like it's all left aligned. If you want to put the logo centered, maybe you have to put this centered, for example. Then it would look a little bit better, like making these things centered,
Yeah, I think that's good. I like that.
Yeah. So we can do something like this. Make this centered. Boom. Center. And it's making these centered. Yeah, that looks better than it all being on the left. Sorry. And then we can get this. Let's put some gap here. Listo. Perfect.
Nice.
So this is what this is the gap. Yeah, something like this looks nice. Okay, so that's for the home page. I also noticed that in the home page, I have this big ass monitor, very, very large. So if I go like this and I go like this, it seems very large. Can you see?
Yeah, that's another. I don't know if that's something you just fix with some padding or not, but it's actually one of the thoughts I've had as well, which is because there's no too much content.
Yeah,
it might look too big in a monitor. So, what are your suggestions?
There's this thing called max width. So if I do it again and I show you, you notice that the nav bar stays in the middle, right? Stays nice and compressed in the middle. That's what we're gonna do. The nav bar has something called max width. I don't know if I spoke about that last time, but basically if you were to go here, I believe it's this one, yeah. It has a max width of 1280 pixels, meaning that my big monitor has like, I don't know how many pixels it has, but no matter how wide you stretch it, the content will stay fixed 1280. Right? That's the maximum that I can get. And we want to do that for the areas where they have content, where there's content. So, for example, this is a perfect example with this hero section, it's called. So we can set for the hero section, right, for the image, that it has a max width of fixed, and it's important fixed. In this case, I know that I'm a big hater of fixed, but in the max width, it's like my best friend. So for the fixed, it would be, for example, 1280. Usually it's for example here, I know that it looks pretty, how can I do this? If I were to publish this, I just want to show you something. So usually in a normal screen, okay, yeah, 1440. So we would have to make it like 1440. Okay, so we're gonna make this hero section max width 1440, just like this desktop. Okay, so let's write 1440, and then if I press play here, it stays like this, right? That's one way of doing it. And then you can see that it's even when you go down, it goes down, but then boom, it stays like this. The other option is that we remove it from here, and we make it only to the for the text, right? So we make sure that this text is kind of sorry. We do it for this area here. So we add this max width. Oh, it already has a max width. So let me remove that, or let me make it 1440, or not 1440. 1440 would be for the whole section, and for this text we wanted to like stay at this, length. So we do what was it, 1260, 12 something, 1280. Okay. So go here. We put max width 1280, and then I'm gonna put fill. Yeah, it's already set to fill. Perfect. I'm just a little bit worried about something. Okay, perfect. There we go. Then you can see that the text stays aligned with the logo.
Oh, I see, yes.
While this grows. So that's actually another way of doing it, and it might be better. I don't know. It depends on you. It looks better, honestly, because rather than it stopping. I know that you can't see Federer's face, but
so I guess in this case, if we decide to go with that option, whatever is in the next, in the other sections, for example, the image we have on the bottom, we'll have to fix that as well with the navbar, right?
Yeah, this one, for example, would fix with the navbar. So it would stay like 1280, right?
And we do the same with the image as well, so
yeah,
or not?
For sure.
Okay.
It's only with these cover images that it's gonna be that you can, it's not gonna look nice if you cut them, because it's gonna be like white space here,
Yeah.
But for this, we can keep it centered, and it's gonna look nice for this one. For this one too. For this one too. For this too. For this too. For this one, it's gonna be nicer if it's all wide. You see, because it's kind
correct.
Of like,
yes.
I can't explain it. It's like a banners, right? Like banners look better when they're all, wide. So that's kind of my, my take on this. So for this benefit one, what we can do here is we can set a max width over here for this container, and we put the max width
1440.
No, this one is going to be, since it's the content, it's going to be 1280.
1280. Okay, right.
Let's forget that 1440. It wasn't. That's only if you want to like do that for the banners, but I wouldn't suggest that.
Okay.
So let's see here. If I press play, okay, you see how it's nice and nicely sized, but it's going towards the left. And what we have to do is we have to click on the parent one and make sure that this, is
centered.
Aligning centered. So yeah. That's
I see.
So
that's
you make
good.
it align centered in the parent container, and now the image isn't growing; it's staying nice, very nice.
Like one thing I noticed is because the website it's mainly white and the navbar is also white. It looks good on the hero section, but when it goes down, it tends to blend with the rest. So is there any way to also, like, I don't know, if add an effect or some sort of shadow? Because if you go down and then now you see, like, I don't know, sometimes it's just blends with the white.
You mean this here?
Correct.
Yeah. So we can do certain things. This is set to sticky. What we can do is what I like to do is go here and add a border only at the bottom. So I'm going to go like this,
That's good.
B1, and then I'm going to make this very light, kind of like 20%. You can adjust it however you want. And then I'm going to add a shadow, realistic outside. And then you go back home, and then you can see.
Yes, that's it.
We have this nice little shadow.
Very nice.
Yeah. Right. So that's how we do that. So now you kind of understand how to do this max width, right? Like, do you have any questions regarding that?
No, that's it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and as you saw, we had that little bug that it stayed on the left side. Now that you know that you have to make the parent stack, the stack that's containing that thing, center aligned. Just make sure that you follow this this basic section, right? So yeah, there's that. And then we wanted to do the. Okay, do you have any questions?
I don't have any more questions. I know that we are a bit past pretty much really close to the time. So if you prefer to leave the next section for another video, that's totally fine as well.
Yeah, let's kind of recap and see what we gotta or what's still missing. Was there, because we wanted to do the mission page, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so the mission page, just to make sure we have it empty right now, we just have the Figma file of it, right? Like we have it only in Figma.
We have it only in Figma. Okay. That's correct.
Okay. So that means that in the next session, we're gonna go ahead and bring this from Figma into a Framer and, you know, style it, make it responsive, right? That's the next goal.
That would be awesome.
Okay, perfect. All right, sounds good, Diego. Then we do it like that.
Perfect. No, that's really helpful. I think the website is looking much better.
Yeah.
And I'll be working on some adjustments based on what we learned today. Really appreciate it. I think this is really helpful, and I hope everyone who's watching this gets some insights on their own projects.
Yeah. I think this is also, you know, helpful for everyone that's watching, like 100%, because we cover a lot of concepts that beginners deal with when they're and they get stuck on certain areas, right? Like you were saying, you know, you understand how it goes with the responsiveness, but then, for example, in the footer, it all broke down and you didn't really know what to do. But now you kind of understand that all you have to do is deal with the directions, right? If it's
that's correct,
you make it like this in this view, and the desktop is usually always going horizontally, but then the mobile is always going vertically, and adjusting the widths, right? So yeah, that's good that we all can see this in today's video. So that's good. Yeah. All right, Diego. Then I'll leave you at it. You have a lot of you have a wonderful day to look forward to. It's already tomorrow over there, so I hope you enjoy your day. If you have any questions, also, like, please feel free to write me, or we could just look at everything next week.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that session. Yeah, very useful.
Awesome. Okay, Diego. Then I hope you have a wonderful day, man. Nice seeing you.
Thank you.
All right.
You too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
See ya, man.